I always make the comment that a Vietnam veteran fought two wars, one while you were in country and the other one when you came home. I actually joined because I had a brother that was Special Forces and I was a young 18-year-old kid, so I felt that I had to follow his footsteps. It was during the Vietnam War, and I also felt patriotic that I had to do what was needed for my country.
A lot of it was for the benefits, but the other aspect was I wasn't really doing anything worthwhile, and I figured it was a good way to get out, see the world, serve my country, and have a little fun at the same time.
I had a lot of reasons to join the military, actually. The biggest one was Full Sail was actually one of the reasons I joined, because I've actually wanted to go to Full Sail since high school, but I couldn't really afford it. So I thought, hey, I might as well join the military since they're gonna pay for my school and whatnot. So
Back in the days that I went in, I came in originally in 1967. The military was a lot different then than what it is now. The discipline was very harsh. There was no such thing as you can't touch me and you have to be nice to me. It was nothing for one of your drill sergeants that if you were a fool that you would get knocked on your ass, which I did a couple times. Totally different. The discipline was there, it was hard. It was shocking for an 18-year-old kid that thought he knew everything. But it was worth it because it got you prepared to go to war.
going into boot camp, I didn't know what to expect. I was really excited. I was ready to get into it or whatever. But when I actually got there, it was a different story. First night we was there, I was just thinking to myself, what did I get myself into? But I'd honestly say it was definitely a big change for me. I went from having my freedom, that's what I call it, my freedom, and then going into the military where they control pretty much everything that you do, when you sleep, when you eat, and what you wear and whatnot. Yeah.
Now, I actually took the time, as I was looking ahead, and I was like, okay, I'm getting out of the Marine Corps. Let me start calling things by their normal name now. So, when I was out and about with my friends, wasn't at work, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go use the bathroom, or the floor or whatever. Started calling my buddies by their first names rather than their last names. So I made the effort to try to break some of those habits to try to reassimilate to the normal world.
I really didn't know what to expect, other than what we had seen on Stars and Stripes, which was our natural newspaper. We didn't have much TV in Vietnam because every time it worked, the enemy would blow it up. So I really wasn't sure what to expect, that I knew that it was going to be a hard time, and it was. When I came back, I processed in San Francisco. And at that time, most of the protesting was going on, the anti-military movement was going on. We were, in 1970, still very heavily in Vietnam. The population was totally divided. It was a rough time. We were called names. Many of our friends were spit on. I spent my first night in jail because of some of the things that transitioned with the civilians, the way they treated us. Some of our fellow soldiers that were never in Vietnam, that were young, did not like us. I ran into a lot of opposition to where, because of my experience being in a combat zone, there are a lot of them that had not been in the combat zone, to including commanders and sergeants, did not rely on my experience. And I felt betrayed.
And as far as the way people act towards you and stuff, for the most part, people will always thank you for your service, which for me is kind of an awkward thing, especially having never been to combat. It's like, well, yeah, you're welcome for blowing up dirt my whole life or my whole career.
Honestly, a lot of my time in the military, I would honestly say there were unpleasant memories, but those memories made me who I am today. So I definitely wouldn't change that. the military definitely straightened me out and made me more of a man. Because honestly, before I joined the military, I think of myself as a wimp. But after the military, I definitely think that it gave me more confidence than before. So.
I don't regret a single. You know, obviously there's certain things that I probably wish I would have done better that would have made my life a lot easier in the military. But at the end of the day, looking back on everything, you know, I'm no regrets basically. You know.
And I would do it all over again. That's what makes this country so great.
I would have went back in a heartbeat. If we ever went to a world war and they called me up at the age of 69, I'll go in a heartbeat. I love my country and I do whatever I can to support my country. And everybody that's in it, right or wrong, I'll support you in the military.